In today's video, we're going to discuss my favorite thing to do at Halloween Horror Nights that does not include getting scared. Let's talk about the Behind the Screams tour or the Unmasking the Horror tour. For whatever reason, it kind of has two different names. I feel like recently Universal has been using the Unmasking the Horror tour name. I prefer Behind the Screams, so if I say that like 16 times in this video, that's why. Either way, this is an exclusive tour that is only offered during Halloween Horror Nights. So let's get into why I think it is the best thing to do at Halloween Horror Nights and why I think it is completely worth your time and money. Now, don't get this one confused with the RIP tour. They are completely different tours, and we'll go into that very quickly right now. The RIP tour requires Halloween Horror Nights tickets, and what you do during that tour is everything that Halloween Horror Nights has to offer. You will do every single house, you will do the show, you will do every scare zone with a dedicated tour guide that will walk you through, explain everything that Halloween Horror Nights has to offer, the backstories, the details, everything. But this happens at night, and you have to pay for Halloween Horror Nights tickets as well. This means that during the RIP tour, you will get scared. You are like any other guest in the park, just one with priority access, meaning you don't wait in any kind of line, not even the express line. You walk directly to the front of the house. The Behind the Screams tour is nothing like that. It takes place during the day. You do not need Halloween Horror Nights tickets. You don't even need Universal Day tickets. Doing this tour means that you do not get scared because there are no scare actors in the house and the lights are completely on. Much like the RIP tour, you will have a tour guide going through the houses with you, explaining all the stories, all the details, everything like that. But again, it's during the day and you will not get scared. When you go to book this tour, you will see that it is offered in two different variations, a 3-house tour and a 6-house tour. You might be wondering what's the difference. There is no difference. Just there's a 3-house tour and a 6-house tour. Pretty simple. What I prefer to do is the 3-house tour and the 6-house tour because then you're doing 9 houses out of the event. Usually there are 10 houses, so one house usually gets left off of the list. There is no Behind the Screams tour of that house, which is fine. But if you do the 3-house tour and the 6-house tour, you will see a combined 9 houses. They do not repeat houses between the 3-house and the 6-house. The 3-house tour is about 2 hours long, and the 6-house tour can range, in my opinion, between 5 and 5.5, something like that. They do give you an hour break for lunch for the 6-house tour. Either way, you should dedicate a few solid hours to experience these tours. It is important to note that there is no video or audio recording during these tours, but you can take pictures in some of the areas of the houses. I will be including some of those photos here. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into what you actually do on this tour. So if you're a fan of The Last of Us or Stranger Things or Chucky, this tour will allow you to get into the houses with the lights on so you could take all of those pictures of all the fine details that the set designers put into this house. There are so many fine details, some of the things I couldn't even take pictures of, but in Last of Us, for example, small little details that call back directly to the game that you're not going to be able to see with the lights on. Things like medallions, things like coins, small little details that are impossible. You're not seeing it with the lights off. There are rooms in Stranger Things that are taken directly from the show that any fan would want to get a picture of. I mean, where else are you going to get a picture of Chucky ripping someone's heart out? Only on this tour. One of my favorite things about this tour is being able to enjoy all of the incredible set design that goes into most of these houses. For example, this year, Blood Moon Dark Offerings is a beautiful house. Our tour guide let us know that it is inspired by The Witch, The Blair Witch Project, and Midsommar, and yes, I'm saying that correctly. The director pronounces it Midsommar, not Midsummer, but you do you. Either way, the house is beautiful. It's gory, it's disgusting, but it's beautiful. One cool thing about this tour that I learned is that the blood moon can be seen in most rooms. If you happen to look up, you can see the blood moon right above you in most of the scenes in this house. Who's doing that when you're going through the house? Nobody. You're not looking at what's behind you. You're trying to figure out where the scare is coming from. But something like this tour allows you to enjoy a detail that somebody on the Universal creative team did that you would not be able to experience. Blood Moon in particular is one of the best things about this tour, only because, like I said, it is a beautiful house and you really get to take in the time to experience and enjoy the quality that was put into this house. Another one of those beautiful houses this year is Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate. Our tour guide gave us some pretty awesome details. For example, this chandelier was actually in the original queue line for the ride. Another cool thing is every year they hide a small detail in every single house. So for example, this year, that's frogs. Every single house has a hidden frog in it. Dueling Dragons, for example, has two frogs, a blue one and a red one. But yeah, it's cute little things like that, little scavenger hunts kind of in the houses that you cannot do with the lights are off. You can't do it. With this tour, you're able to really enjoy a lot more. One of my favorite things about Halloween Horror Nights is that they will put small things that you are never gonna see. Like for example, this note in the Yeti Campground Kills house. This note is in the retirement scene, and it is a note from the family member wishing them a happy retirement. You would never see this, but we are able to see it and read it while doing a tour like this. The story of Yeti Campground Kills is there was a family who was staying in basically like a national park, and there were Yetis, and a kid actually killed a baby Yeti, and then the parents kind of came back for their revenge, which I completely understand. But if you miss that one particular scare with the kid poking the dead Yeti, you might miss that storyline. So this tour allows you to really appreciate the story also behind these houses. Especially a story that is so dense like the Dr. Oddfellow Twisted Origins house. This is Oddfellow's origin story. And if you know anything about Halloween Horror Nights, the lore is thick. There are lots of characters and lots of things going on. Just pull up a Wikipedia to find out more about the Halloween Horror Nights icons. There's a lot of them and they have backstories. Oddfellow is obviously really closely connected to Jack the Clown, another Universal Halloween Horror Nights icon, and he has references throughout this house. Unfortunately, most of them I could not take pictures of, but for example, his trunk is in the house, as well as his costume. That was a photos down area, so we could not take pictures of that, but I was able to take a picture of this little shadow that pops up on the wall there, showing Jack's outline. There are also some cool details like in The Darkest Deal, where you could see the musician Pine Straw Spruce. When you first see him, his costume, his suit is kind of crappy, and then as he gets better, his suit improves, which is a symbol for his musical abilities. Maybe he wasn't so good, then he makes his deal with the devil, and now he's a pretty damn good musician. Sadly, a lot of this house was kind of photos down. I'm not sure why, so I could not take that many great pictures in this house, but just know that I came out with a deeper appreciation for The Darkest Deal because of this tour. My favorite thing to do is to do the houses first and then do the tour. That way I'm not spoiled, I am not getting scares taken away from me, I don't know anything going into the houses the first time. And then I do the tour so that I can experience all of the fine details, the story, everything that I've been discussing in this video. And then I go back and do the houses again. And you'd be surprised, I actually enjoy the houses more after doing this tour than before. So I think this tour is a great idea for anybody who's like me, who really wants to go in and enjoy the details of these houses and just enjoy, again, the beauty of horror that takes place in these houses. It's also really great for people who want to experience Halloween Horror Nights but don't want to get scared. They're very, very, very scared. They don't want to have a scare actor jump out at them. This is a great way to experience what these houses have to offer without getting scared. So I think for those people, they would have a great time at this tour, because you get to do just that. No one's going to scare you, but you still get to enjoy the house. So for me, this tour is an absolute must-do. I will do it every single year. I'm at Horror Nights. It is impossible for me to go and not do both of these tours, and I highly suggest you do the same. I think it is a great way to spend a day at Halloween Horror Nights, not necessarily a night, but a day at Halloween Horror Nights, and you really get some incredibly valuable information and some pretty cool photos. Let me know what you think about this tour. Did you go on it before? Are you hesitant and now maybe not so much? Let me know if you have any questions as well. I'll be happy to answer them. Again, I love this tour and I want more and more people to experience it because I really think it is this hidden gem of Universal. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. I really appreciate it. Thank you. See you next time.